If you ask Ian to summarize Robert Pickton, he'd use the words, pig shit covered asshole. And that pretty much sums it up. Robert Pickton owned a pig farm in Canada that he would eventually turn into his, quote, piggy palace. Here he would have wild parties, do drugs, and bring his sex workers. But what people didn't know was that Pickton had an evil side. And this side of him is believed to have led to the disappearance and murder of nearly 50 women, rightfully earning him the title, pig shit covered asshole. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. If you thought Nickelback was the worst thing to ever come out of Canada, stick around. Tonight's tawdry tale is bound to leave you squealing in terror. This is Necronomipod.
Now, the Robert Pickton tapes. The serial killer comes close to admitting multiple murders in a newly released video of a police interrogation, but Pickton stops short of a complete confession. The 11-hour interview shows Pickton saying that he had one more apparent killing in mind, but it didn't happen because he says he got sloppy. A&E's reporter Eric Thompson has the latest.
In the early hours, as Pickton is shown photos of the women, he insists he knows nothing. This criminologist says the tape is chilling, but nothing about it is surprising.
He just looked upon this as a number. So totally depersonalized, so totally detached, so totally insensitive, so totally unempathetic, classic psychopathic personality.
All right, Ian. As I take an awkwardly long sip of alcohol, get out your Google machine. You're going to need it for this. Fuck, marry, kill.
What? It's been a long time for these.
Adam Levine, Jared Leto, Justin Timberlake.
Why would I have to get my Google?
I don't. You don't know anybody. And Dave, you as well. So, and you can either one of you can answer.
I'm killing Adam Levine. I don't love that guy. I don't know.
He seems like a douche.
That's why there's two guys on this that are extremely douchey.
Effing Timberlake and marrying Jared Leto. I like that guy.
You think Leto's a douche?
I think he's the biggest douche on that list.
Really?
Oh, I'm a big
Is he
30
actually?
Seconds to Mars fan.
They're a good
I
band.
like
Yeah,
those guys.
They're good. He's just a douche.
He's a good actor too.
Oh, I think he's cool. I like him. He's a
How are you not marrying Justin Timberlake though? Come on.
I like Jared Leto. He's cool.
I'll kill Jared Leto,
Okay.
F Adam Levine, and marry Justin Timberlake.
I'm gonna marry Justin Timberlake. I'm gonna F Jared Leto, and I'm gonna kill Adam Levine. Do we have three different answers?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and I think we've had Justin Timberlake before because I asked if Jessica Biel was part of the package, and you told me
She's
no.
not. Of course, no.
So-
She's not. Like, you can't just put people in part of these packages.
Like if Jessica Biel came along with it,
That's lawless.
I would probably marry Justin
Yeah,
Timberlake.
yeah.
But
Well, of course, but you can't have that, Dave.
I'm sorry, man.
Fuck, marry, kill.
I'm hoping there's a corresponding.
I feel like we might have done this one before.
Are you looking at old stuff?
I'm looking at I was Googling the best F, marry, kills because I didn't have an opener for this show, so I looked this up 20 seconds ago. Zoe Saldana,
Oh boy,
Natalie Portman, Mila Kunis.
I feel like we have done that one before.
I'm killing Natalie Portman, Mila Kunis, and marrying Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, what he said.
Same?
Yeah.
I think I would just switch Zoe and Mila. I would marry Mila
I'm a
Kunis.
big
and
Zoe Saldana fan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
she's
too.
smoking hot. I think we might have done that one before.
I think we
Yeah,
did.
that sounds remotely familiar.
I hope
don't
someone
know.
goes back and sees if our answers are consistent
Calls
with
you
current. Yeah. No, just see if they're consistent
Oh,
I
answers.
assure you, mine are consistent.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You
mine
never
are,
know.
too.
Taste may have changed, Dave. Maybe back at that time you were feeling Natalie Portman.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a Natalie Portman fan too, but not over Zoe Saldana.
I'll tell you who you wouldn't pick in an F, marry, kill. A pig. Look at that transition. Take it, Ian.
So Robert Pickton was born on October 24th, 1949 in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia to Leonard and Louise Pickton. And he was the middle child of his two siblings, brother David and sister Linda. The Pickton family were just genuinely not good people, except for their daughter Linda. She was like the one that was normal in this family.
There's always one.
Yeah. Leonard Pickton was a farmer, and the family in general were just filthy people. They had all the animals that you would expect to have on a farm, like chickens and
Cows.
cows.
I like how you were struggling to think of.
Like lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! Or
What you find on a farm, like chickens and He's looking around the room all nervous,
all
like
those other animals.
you know, those other animals that you see on a farm.
But
Have you ever been to a farm, Ian?
yeah, I've been to a farm.
All right.
Yeah, lots of times, Mike. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I see those chickens and those pigs and those.
There's like
Cows.
stuff there, and like
There's hay and dirt, tractors.
But the pigs were their main business. And all of these animals were just allowed to roam freely wherever they wanted throughout the Pickton house as well. Now, like 2 years ago, we bought that duckling for Easter.
Right. Yeah.
And that's
I
–
remember.
Yeah. And then that duck grew up really fast. and that thing shit so much. So it just pigs and all kind of stuff just allowed to walk through his house, just shitting everywhere, just filthy.
The pigs.
Yeah.
Although they're like free range animals, and that's like the thing these days. People want free range animals, right?
Yeah, but I don't think you just want them like walking around your house.
Taking a bath and a pig fucking walks in and tries to get in the tub with you.
And they're not pet pigs. Like these are just fucking hogs.
Yeah, they're like not pot belly, you know.
Right, no.
Yeah, they're not cute little things.
Right, right. You're eating these motherfuckers at some point.
Oh, I'm hungry. Now I want some ham.
So the kids were required to slop 200 pigs every day, both before and after school,
What does that mean?
to feed them.
Slop?
Yeah.
Give them the slop?
You feed them
Yeah.
slop.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not a farmer, Mike.
No, I don't know. I knew that one, though.
All right.
Proud of myself. I knew that one.
It's not bad.
And the smell of these pigs just like stuck to everything on this family, which earned Leonard the nickname Piggy in town.
That's mean.
Like, well, they just smelled terrible. Like, even to other farmers, it was like
Because they let him run off of their house.
Right.
Like there's no separation.
No.
Well, like his name is literally picked on. Like this is his name.
Exactly. The whole family, they were born for
Robert picked on.
when they're running through your house, like that's just, even when you're washing your clothes, it's just in the smell of pig shit.
Yeah.
Pigs are not pleasant smelling creatures.
Well, and the other thing too about Robert Pickton specifically was that he had like this unnatural kind of fear of water. So he would have to be forced to take a bath. And it was very rare that he ever bathed at all growing up or into adulthood, all that stuff. So literal
Extra
pig shit person.
Extra smelly kid.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And for the most part, the Picktons didn't associate with anyone outside of the family. But growing up, Linda seemed to have somewhat of a normal life. But Robert and David either spent all their time with each other or just with the pigs. The thing that Robert shared with some other serial killers growing up was an unnatural attachment to his mother. And by contrast, his father was just like a complete non-entity in the household and Robert's life. The only time Robert got attention from his father was with his father being just extremely abusive towards him, physically and emotionally.
Sounds like a great upbringing.
Yeah. Robert also didn't do well in school. In third grade, he was placed in special education, and he did not advance through that program at all, with him finally dropping out his freshman year of high school. And his time in school was not great while he was attending. Like we already said, he was known as the smelly kid, and he was picked on quite a bit.
Yeah, his name is picked on. Like literally picked on.
And so when Robert would have a specifically bad time, he would go home and burrow himself into the carcass of a dead pig and just kind of lay in there and hang out until he felt better.
I used to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's healthy.
Didn't that get hot in the summer? Like he was probably
It's comfort
bacon in there.
Oh my God.
You're on it tonight.
Oh boy.
So, I mean, that's quite the scene. Just this kid going.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Laying in a dead pig.
Yeah, you think?
Plus you don't shower. Plus your name is picked on.
What was his name?
Picked on.
Oh, I didn't get that. Do you think he was picked on?
I think it's possible.
So Robert had these stories throughout life that he would tell everybody that would listen to him. And one of these stories that he would tell over the years, and this was confirmed in a letter he sent from prison, happened to him when he was 12 years old. He had saved up $35 and went to a livestock auction, and bought himself a 3-week-old calf to raise. So one day, Robert came home from school and found the calf was missing, and Robert's dad told him to go look in the barn for it. And when he went in there, he saw the calf hanging upside down, butchered.
Pretty fucking harsh.
And he viewed this calf as a pet, so it wasn't intended to be eaten.
Is it kind of like a farmer's life lesson where they, I don't know.
I'm sure that's what Dad made it out to
Right.
be.
Yeah. Well, what's the thing with there's like the Nazi thing where they have to, I don't know if it's true or if it's like a myth, but raise the German Shepherd puppy and then kill it to prove something. There's
It's
that.
a real buzzkill, Ian. Thanks.
I mean,
Jesus.
I'm just trying.
Everyone hug your dogs a little tighter tonight.
This happens a lot in other serial killer stories. I don't know. I don't think in any that we've covered yet specifically, but there's like Henry Lee Lucas was one that he got attached to a donkey, and his mom took him out and just shot it in the face in front of him. And there's different things like that.
Yeah, I mean, that'll fuck you up for life, that kind of shit.
It's not great.
100%.
So regardless, this is real sad.
Yeah, for sure.
Not a high moment for young Bobby here.
But that's the thing. That's the weird thing too with him is like that's kind of it with him growing up. He doesn't have like that one big serial killer moment or this brutal upraising that you talk about with other guys like Ed Kemper being forced to live in a basement.
Long time.
Yeah, or like any massive head injury that would explain something, like, or at least that anybody knows about.
Well, how much do we know about the abuse from his dad?
From what I read, it sounded like it was just, it wasn't great, but it wasn't like anything outside the realm of
just general not good abuse.
Yeah, it wasn't something brutal.
Okay.
When Robert was 14, his family moved their farm to another area of Port Coquitlam. But his sister Linda didn't move with the family, and she decided to kind of let this farm life go. She didn't love pigs just roaming around everywhere.
Oh, that's weird. Sounds great.
This second farm is where Robert lived for the rest of his life, and this farm would eventually become the biggest crime scene in Canadian history.
Dun, dun, dun. Foreshadow.
The Picktons bought this property for around $18,000. And at the time, by the time that this was all over and Robert was caught, it was worth millions. When they moved to this farm, they expanded their pigs to reach at having around 800 pigs at a time. And Robert and David would eventually start coming home they would slop the pigs before and after school, but now they were coming home during lunch to help slop these pigs.
It's a lot of fucking pigs to feed.
And they just smell like absolute shit going back to school because Robert didn't bathe at all.
Have you guys been around a pig like at a petting zoo? They smell disgusting.
It's terrible.
They don't smell pleasant, let alone 800 of them. One alone is enough to make me like want to walk away and maybe skip lunch. 800 pigs.
And trying to get dates in school? Like, hey, baby, I just went home and slopped the 800 pigs. You want to slob on my knob?
Yeah. Let me slop you.
I don't think that was working real well.
Oh, boy.
It's my guess, but yeah.
Hey, baby, you want a pork?
The farm eventually started to become a storage place for people to freeze their food. Like they opened a side business that was just like a frozen food thing. And at 15, Robert dropped out of school and became a full-time employee. The first incident with crime didn't have anything to do with Robert, but it had a huge effect on him. When his brother David was 16, he was driving home at the same time a 14-year-old boy named Tim Barrett was walking to a friend's. David accidentally hit the boy from behind with his truck, and instead of getting out to help him, David took off and went to tell his parents what had happened. Instead of calling an ambulance, his parents cleaned as much blood off the truck as possible and sent David to go get the dent fixed in the truck. So while David was taking the truck to get fixed, his mother went to the scene and found Tim Barrett still lying on the ground. Again, instead of doing anything to help, she just rolled his body into a water-filled ditch and went back home.
Damn.
Just figured he wouldn't be found.
Brutal.
How do we find this out later? From confessions and whatnot?
Yeah, so this came out later in confessions, and then what his mom did kind of came out a few times.
Damn.
So David's getting the dent fixed in the truck, and this stuck out to the mechanic because the truck was all beat up, and the Picktons were already known as pig shit people that didn't care about things. So why are you bringing this truck to get
There's
this
like
dent?
500 dents in his truck, and no, just pull this one out.
You want this specific dent with the skull of a 14-year-old
Right.
indented into the hood. You want that specific dent taken out, but nothing else.
It's not
Okay, got
suspicious
it.
at all.
Got it, Pally.
So the next day when this boy's body was found, the mechanic called the police about the work he had done on the truck. So he was like, oh, like I definitely fixed the dent that killed that kid.
He's like, yep, that was me. Whoops.
But the thing about Tim's death was it wasn't from him getting hit by the truck. He was still alive when Louise Pickton rolled him into that water-filled ditch, and he died from drowning. To top it all off, David was only found guilty of failure to stay at the scene of an accident. Nobody got in trouble for this at all, and all he got was a year or two of parole and had his license suspended until he was 21.
Wow. That's
But
crazy.
How brutal. That kid was still alive. She killed him
Damn.
by rolling him into that ditch.
But they couldn't prove that at the time that she pushed him in the ditch.
That's her involvement in it came out years later through a couple.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
That's
through a couple
wild.
confessions, and there was kind of an incident of kind of like a "my mom will beat your mom's ass" kind of thing going on, and I think it was David that spilled that, telling somebody, was like, "Yeah, well, my mom fucking killed that kid," so.
Yeah, well, my mom fucking killed the kid. Pushed him in a fucking river. Fuck you, motherfucker.
But this just kind of showed him like being able to get away with things pretty early on.
Laws don't apply to you.
Yeah. After this incident, Robert went on to start being a butcher's apprentice, which would become a role in how he handled his future victims. By the time he was 20, Robert was so good at butchering, he was able to do around 48 animals a day, which I guess that is really high-level butchering.
Like 48 whole animals?
Yeah.
Seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems pretty talented.
Mike can only do like 30.
I mean, I could butcher one meat pretty good in one day, but that's just me. As you were.
However, in 1970, just after his 21st birthday, Robert just up and left his apprenticeship and went back to work full-time on the pig farm. His work often took him to a place called West Coast Reduction, which was an animal waste disposal facility near downtown Vancouver. Robert was known to drop off barrels of excess animal materials at this rendering plant, which would then take the materials and turn them into other products. Kind of what we talked about.
Other products.
Gelatins.
Have you guys ever been to a rendering plant?
No.
I have not.
I have.
Really?
My good buddy Max.
Oh.
They work at a rendering. They get grease from local restaurants and take them back to their rendering plant. One time I got to see where it all goes.
Sounds awful.
Wish I hadn't seen it. It is stinky.
I'm sure. Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
What's the end product there?
I know a lot of it goes like animal feed.
Mm.
That's about as much as I know. You know, it goes reproduced into that. And I don't know. I'm sure it's used for multiple other things, but
Yeah, like there's cosmetic products that are
Yeah.
used.
I just know that those rendering plants are not, they don't smell the best.
Mhm.
It's a good business though.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Sounds atrocious.
You don't want to look in those things.
No, I don't.
After the trips to the plant, Robert often visited a particularly bad area of Vancouver's downtown east side. And this area is a concentrated spot for sex workers and people addicted to drugs. And from what I was reading, this area is like one of the worst impoverished, crime-filled areas in the world.
Really?
I think it was someone from the Vancouver Sun was talking and said like in the Western world that the east side of Vancouver is just absolutely like the worst of the worst.
I've never been to Vancouver, but it's not.
I actually,
kind of not how I view the city.
I always hear awesome things about
yeah,
Vancouver.
right.
It's just this one section in the east side of it.
Like there's a big movie industry there. They film a lot of Hollywood movies in Vancouver.
They do?
Yeah.
So Robert would pay for just to hang out with these women, and affection, sex, stuff that he just couldn't get anywhere else because
He smelled like a pig.
and these women were very in need of money, so they were unfortunately had to put up with him smelling like a pig. He would spend large amounts of money on these women and just kind of buy them whatever they wanted, and after they were done, these women would brag about Robert to their friends like, hey, this Guy Robert's great. He's just throwing money everywhere kind of thing.
He smells like a fucking pig shit, but he spends lots of money on us. Sounds great.
We'll allow it.
This guy's a big spender.
Robert began frequenting the Astoria Hotel, which was a pub on East Hastings Street in Vancouver, where he grew this reputation as someone with a lot of money. Like his mom was very strict, and he grew up a very like powerless person. To have like these people that he could do favors for and help them out, it put him in this position of some kind of power.
Yeah, you've been made fun of. You've been what, Dave? He's been
Picked on.
Ah, there it is. I couldn't think of the word.
Picked on.
His whole life.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, look at this guy.
Yep. And he would increase picking up these women and getting it to like a nightly basis and increasingly get more violent with them.
So essentially, he has free pork and all the hookers you can handle. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Lots of pulled pork sandwiches and lots of hookers. I don't know. So far, it's so good.
Doesn't sound like the worst way to live.
It's not terrible.
I mean, not knowing the inner workings of what he's doing. Sure. I don't want him pulling my pork.
Yeah, these are initial thoughts here.
In 1978, Robert's father died, and then his mother died the following year in 1979. And even though the Picktons were disgusting people, they were very wealthy, and the farm was worth a ton of money. So when it came time to figure out the will, each child got $96,000, and that's $96,000 1978 money. So
Yeah, sure.
it's a
Goddamn, pal.
good bit of money. And the farm was to be split 3 ways. Oddly, it was specifically written into the will that David and Linda would get their money immediately, but Robert couldn't get his until he had ran the farm and stayed there for 10 years, and then it would be freed up.
And you wonder why they kill motherfuckers.
Well, he wasn't the youngest.
He was the middle.
Yeah.
Why? Because
So
he was the youngest boy.
Maybe he was essential. Like they knew he was the one that needed to run the place, so they
That's
kind of
still
tied him to the
I
operations.
mean, can you
of the-
imagine your two siblings get $96,000 and like, oh, you fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
It's a very strange.
That makes me want to flip a table right now, and I'm not even a part of this story.
Well, don't though, because you're in my basement.
yeah,
so maybe
well,
that's
I'm
not
going
a
to try
good
not
idea.
to. Also, coronavirus.
6 feet, man. Social distance.
Now that I've just dated this episode, people listening 20 years from now will be like, what the fuck's a coronavirus? What kind of beers are these guys drinking?
The farm was the farm is pretty much in his full control.
Well, yeah. If I had to run it for 10 years, I'd be like, motherfuckers, take your 96,000, get the fuck out of here. This is mine now. 10 years. I'm going to run this shit. Give me my money. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, like his brother David hung out with. They hung out all the time together.
Did he buy them out?
I'm not sure.
I assume the siblings were like, fucking peace out. Like, this is yours.
And we don't want to be at a
Yeah.
pig farm anymore.
We have our money, but if we want to party,
Right.
we're going to come back. It's, it's
mean,
the piggy palace.
Linda didn't have anything to do with anything in this story.
She was
already
smart. She got the fuck out.
That's right.
She took that money and pieced out. Do we know where she went? Just
I don't know. But David hangs out a lot with, throughout this whole story, we'll see later on, we'll talk about some things. David Pickton was 100% complicit in what went on in this story.
oh, he knew.
Oh, he 100% knew.
Dropping truth bombs over here.
So now that he kind of had full reign of things, he started to go buy broken down cars and scrap metal and would store them on the property. So areas of the farm started to look like a junkyard. He also started to expand his butchering business and would go around bidding on animals at livestock auctions for people and then butchering the meat. Robert also expanded this scrap metal business by running a chop shop for the Hells Angels on the farm. So starting with this farm started to become a hangout for a lot of bikers, a lot of criminals, and just a lot of general, just low-life people started hanging around.
Sounds like our neighborhood.
Yep.
Coincidentally, motorcycle season starts. Woo! Yay!
Not if this coronavirus has anything to say about that.
Love the bikes out there.
Now that Robert could do whatever he wanted, he also started to bring sex workers back to the farm to stay for a while. He would teach them butchering skills, and they would go to the movies and go shopping.
What else are you gonna do, right?
And Robert would also often pay these women with money and drugs to clean his trailer or help him around the farm. The earliest incident we know, violence involving Robert Pickton, is a story from one evening in 1980. Robert was driving around the streets of Eastside Vancouver when he spotted a young girl on Hastings Street. According to the girl, Robert picked her up in his truck, and things quickly turned violent. This girl was 14 years old, and once in the truck, Robert attacked her with a knife, raped her, and then just threw her out into the parking lot. Being like the first, like I said, it's like the first violent thing we know about him, because shortly after this is when it's widely accepted that he started killing in 1983.
So we got a taste of it here.
That's what it sounds like, yeah. And that's the thing about a lot of, we'll go through the victims at the end. A lot of the, I mean, he went after the most down and out people with the promise of drugs and money. I mean, this was a 14-year-old.
Just to feel powerful.
Yeah.
To feel, you know.
I mean, this was a 14-year-old girl. There's
Yeah.
a lot of really young, drug addicted
Yeah. Well,
teenagers that he went after.
and easy pickings, and generally no one's going to be looking for them. So,
Right.
same old story.
The next major event in Robert's life happened in 1994 when the Pickton kids sold the north end of the farm, and the sale netted them almost $2 million. So with a ton of cash, Robert and his brother David started a nonprofit social events business in 1996 called the Piggy's Palace Good Time Society.
Yes.
This was established as a charity.
You think you can still find a T-shirt of that?
I don't,
Maybe.
The PPGTS? I want one of those.
it was something else, man, because it was listed legally as a charity, but it was just an excuse to throw these crazy ass parties, and with hundreds of people, sometimes up to like pushing 2,000 people would be going there, and people, and it wasn't just like criminal type people either. I mean, there were law enforcement went to the Piggy Palace to hang out.
I bet. What else? Are you
All
gonna do
kind of
up
people went
man?
there.
That was the nickname of Mike's frat, by the way, the Good Time Society. That's what they
was.
went by.
Yeah. In my pants was the Piggy Palace. They called it that for a short time. Short time.
Short time only.
Yeah. Put the kibosh on that.
You put the kibasi on it or the kibosh?
Well, they got the kibasi, but they put the kibosh on that because I was like, I don't want to refer to this as the Piggy Palace. Pussy Palace.
So, like, there was live music and everything at this place, right?
Yeah, I mean, this was like a full blown just partying it up, bands playing, drinking.
So, like, it was Canada. Like, did Justin Bieber or Alanis Morissette play live at this
I don't know
shows?
if Justin Bieber alive. I don't think he was
Who
alive.
were these Canadian bands that were
I
jamming
don't think he was
out
alive.
there?
So this was like a recognized party venue almost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this was an established place to go. Yeah, 100%.
It looked like a fucking trash yard. Pigs running around, smelled like shit.
Yeah.
But this was like a legitimate, like, oh, we're gonna go see band up at the Piggy Palace.
Yeah, people rented it out for parties and stuff.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's Canada, you know.
And fun fact: Canadian rock band Nickelback.
Easy for you to say.
Nickelback played a couple shows at the Piggy
Interesting.
Palace.
I think that's allegedly right. They have it's never been confirmed.
they have never confirmed that. No,
Mike's a fan of
They have
Nickelback.
never confirmed it.
I don't think they want to be associated with the story anymore.
I don't know if I would call myself a fan of Nickelback.
I think I would.
I don't hate them. They've sold more albums than any rock band in the last 20 years. Just saying, people like them. You can look that up. You can look it up.
He's confident in
Is
that.
that true?
They are the best-selling rock band of like the last 20 years. Yes. I'll Google it right now while you guys are talking.
That really pains my soul.
I mean, what rock band would you say sold better? And in all fairness, I don't think rock bands sell very well anymore. Also,
I don't even know what to say about that.
go ahead. As you were, Piggy Palace, Nickelback. Sounds like a party to me.
So Robert often took sex workers to the Piggy Palace parties, and afterwards they would go to his trailer for the night. And this new wealth gave him even more power over women, which puts him in the realm of Gary Ridgway with this whole missionary killing thing. Because Robert would, with a lot of these women, he would give them a chance to like clean up kind of thing, like some of them. And when they didn't accept his help, it was like justification for what he was doing. And Gary Ridgway was the same way. He had this thing out for these women and thought like
He hated the hookers.
yeah. And in his thing, he was saying, like in his confession, he said, to the cops. Like, well, I was doing your guy's job for you.
Yeah.
Like, all right, thanks, bud.
Gary Ridgway was the guy that took his baby along to have sex with hookers, right?
He did.
I don't know. Did he, Dave?
I think that was the guy. Hey, Dada, why you put pee-pee in the hooker?
Yeah, he did do that.
Gary Ridgway available in the archives.
Dada, why you put milk in the hooker? That guy was ridiculous, Gary Ridgway.
He's something
This
else,
fucking
man.
75 IQ asshole.
And here's another thing with him being like Gary Ridgway is that Robert Pickton killed so many people that you can't nail down when the first one was, and you can't go over every single one. So at this time, we're in 1995 now, Robert's, he had already established himself as being responsible for the deaths of women in the double digits already at this point. In February of that year, a birdhouse salesman named Bill Wilson.
What is a birdhouse salesman?
Dude, it's wild in Canada.
Is that a real job?
In Canada,
It's like, so would you like to buy this birdhouse, eh? You can fit like 10 to 15 birds in this birdhouse, eh?
Birdhouse sales.
You can like watch the birds from your house, eh? And there's windows in the birdhouse. So you can just watch them, eh?
So this Bill Wilson guy parked his truck and walked down to a swampy area to get a bucket of water to wash off his truck a little bit. And
Fucking hose or running water? What is up with Canada?
And when Bill was down there, he found half of a human skull sitting on some rocks. Instead of calling the police right away, Bill decided he would do it after he went to his doctor's appointment and did his grocery shopping. But by the time he did all that stuff, it was time for his bingo night. And he didn't have a working phone at home, so he just decided he would go and report it in person the next morning.
Time for my bath, eh? I
Sorry
can't go
to-
talk to the police.
Sorry to disrupt you, Pally.
It took this guy until 5 p.m. the following day to get down to the police station and report the fact that he had found a human skull.
Jesus. So I gotta do my morning constitution, eh? I'll talk to the police later.
When the police finally got to the skull, they found that it was cut in half with a bone saw, but it wasn't by a medical professional because it wasn't completely straight.
So she didn't have brain surgery.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know I've been kind of out of it here for the last 2 minutes.
He
What
doesn't
the fuck
listen to
is this?
any-
This guy's back now?
Sorry. I told you I'd look up Nickelback, and I did. According to BMG stats, Nickelback is the 11th best-selling musical act of all time. They're also the second best-selling foreign, in quote, groups in the U.S., behind only the Beatles. The RIAA has certified 178 album sales by the group, which makes them the best-selling group in the U.S. I'm through with standing in line at clubs I'll never get in. It's like the bottom of the ninth and I'm never gonna win. This life hasn't turned out quite the way I wanted to be.
Everything about that.
those
Those lyrics,
folks.
it sounds so trashy.
Nickelback.
We need to deport
I know
people
people
from this country
I know
based on
people
that.
hate on them. They sell fucking records. There are so many
That
hidden.
doesn't mean
and
anything to
closet,
me.
It means there's closet Nickelback fans all over. People who tell you they hate them own their records.
Well, then we should.
That's what I'm just saying. I'm honest about it. I own one Nickelback album. One. That's it. But I'm honest about it.
I don't even know what to
That's
say
it.
about that. I'm
They're
disgusted.
the second
repulsed,
best-selling
and
foreign rock band in America behind the Beatles.
I have no words.
Dave's more offended by that than this story. We're going to keep reading here. He's more offended by that than this story.
What other Rush is it? Like
Yeah,
Nickelback
Nickelback has
sold more
bl-
than Rush?
According to this.
That's the most offensive thing I've ever fucking heard in my entire life.
What else? What
That's
other-
preposterous.
Well, as we were.
Fuck off, Mike. That's nonsense.
He's mad that I looked it up. I did it.
Ridiculous nonsense.
And the thing like about the police being notified about this skull, and we're going to talk about it here in a little bit. They already knew at this point that there were a ton of women going missing from the Vancouver area, from the East Side area. So you would think that they would have kind of worked on this a little harder with the skull, but they did not. We'll kind of talk about that in a bit.
What are you trying to say, Ian?
Well, we'll talk about it. So then we're getting into 1997, and Robert's victim count was already approaching 30, and that's where we get into the encounter of Sandra Gale Ringwald. And we talked about this earlier. That is not her real name. That's an alias for, was it victims?
There's a publication ban on her name.
Right.
So, I mean, we're not going to name her name because of that.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it.
Sure.
But I don't feel like we need to throw that out there. She's one of the few women to experience a violent encounter with Robert and survive. So like we said, Robert preyed on the most desperate sex workers, and most wouldn't get in his truck and drive 30 minutes out to Robert's farm with him because, I mean, these women, they know when something's wrong, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, but I'm not going to get in the car with you and go 30 minutes away. But like I said, he preyed on the ones that needed money the most.
And this guy doesn't, he looks like a fucking dirty hick.
He looks like a fucking scumbag. Yeah. Like the definition.
And then he smells like it. So,
yeah. I mean, she was very desperate for the money, so she got in the truck with him. When she got out to Robert's trailer, she made note of a knife that she saw that was just lying on the floor. Because as you could imagine, his trailer was just a fucking disaster with shit everywhere.
I can't even imagine what it looked like.
Yeah. So she made note of this knife that she saw lying on the floor. They went to Robert's bedroom and had what she called regular sex on Robert's sleeping bag.
This guy has all this money. He's living in a fucking dilapidated trailer.
Well, that's what I
was.
was.
A sleeping bag.
Like, he has his whole farm, and he's not even in the farmhouse. He has his own trailer. So, like, you would think
he
maybe...
didn't even have the trailer for the longest time because his brother stayed on the farm, too. His brother David lived there in the house for a long time.
Well, it's rightfully his as well.
And there was specifically an incident, because we said that he was afraid of water. There's specifically an incident with David and some other people there thought it was funny to start hitting him with a hose and shooting him in his face with water and shit. So he got pissed and went and slept in the freezer area for a long time, and then they got him his own trailer.
Jesus.
So, I mean,
his brother bought him the trailer.
Yeah, basically, because he hit him with a hose and pissed him off enough. So she made note of this knife. They had what she called regular sex. She said it lasted for about 5 minutes, and Robert handed her $100, and she thought that was the end of it. Then Sandra asked him if she could use his phone book to call her pimp to get back to Vancouver and give him the money she owed him. While Sandra was flipping through the pages, she felt Robert walk up behind her, and when she turned around, Robert grabbed her left hand and snapped on a handcuff, but before he could cuff her other wrist, she started fighting back. She remembered that knife that she saw earlier, and while she fought Robert off with one hand, she reached over for the knife with the other. Finally, she got a hold of it and just started slashing at Robert and caught him in his jugular. The next slash went through Robert's cheek into his mouth, cutting out some of his teeth and cutting up a piece of his jawbone in the process. Like she was fucking stuck that thing. Yeah.
Like that's a real knife. You'll find it, that butchers have.
Yeah, she put it right
Dave,
in the side.
That's the real deal.
Dave, that's not a knife.
That's a knife.
How did you not come up with that on your own, man? Our Australian listeners are cursing you right now.
That's not a knife, Pickton. This is a knife. Like, no, I mean, those are sharp knives that you use at a slaughterhouse and whatnot. You don't fuck around, man. That slices through anything.
Yeah, I
clearly, it's just fucking one swipe through his
talking
cheek.
about cutting out
gums.
your fucking teeth.
Yeah, cutting out his teeth. Woo.
Yep.
If only I knew what Foster's meant.
Like a beer?
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's beer. It's Australian for beer.
Oh, okay.
We talked about that last week.
Oh, I was drunk. I don't remember.
That didn't stop Robert, and he kept advancing towards her. And Sandra realized that the only way out of the trailer was through Robert. She doesn't remember how she got outside because she blacked out. But the next thing she knew, her and Robert were outside fighting next to his truck.
Can you imagine like fighting after you got some of your teeth cut out and a part of your jawbone sliced out?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
How are you not just crying on the floor in shock, man?
Robert managed to wrestle the knife away and stabbed her twice in the abdomen. Ugh. But Robert was getting weak from blood loss and was losing consciousness. Sandra was able to get the knife back, break free, and run towards the main road with her intestines hanging halfway out of her body from being
Holy
stabbed in the
shit.
stomach. This is like straight up out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Yeah.
like the original one.
Yeah, no doubt.
Once she got to the road, she saw two houses across the street with their porch lights on, but neither of them answered the door when she was banging on their doors, screaming that someone was trying to kill her. Finally, a couple in a car showed up, and Sandra flagged them down, and she was covered in blood. And as they were driving away, Sandra pointed towards Robert's farm and said, quote, "If I die, that's where the guy who did this to me lives."
Smart.
Yep.
I like that.
So this is probably the end of the story, right? They caught him, and then that was it.
You
Well,
They stopped him.
So we want to, shout outs on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll see you guys next week.
You would think that would be the end
Yeah,
of this.
right.
Right here.
Seems like that's how you wrap this story up.
Yep. So when they got to the hospital, the driver told the police what Sandra had said. So they went to Robert's trailer and they found him lying in a pool of his own blood. The police took him to the hospital as well. And when it came time to figure out what exactly happened, Robert's story was that he had cash out on the table when they got back to his trailer. So Sandra saw this cash, grabbed a knife, and tried to rob him. He fought back in self-defense, and she was stabbed in the process.
Yeah, sounds likely.
At first, the police charged him with attempted murder, but when the time came for Sandra to testify in court, she didn't show up because she was absolutely terrified of what Robert might do to her if things didn't go her way. She knew who Robert was, and David had also hired a private investigator to follow her around and throw some intimidation on her. So she knew damn well that if she wasn't to be believed here,
She's done.
yeah. And since she didn't show up to testify at trial, the self-defense story held and all charges against Robert were dropped.
It seems to me that based on her story and like what else is going on in the city at that time, it just warrants a further look
You'd be like,
at
hey.
this guy.
You'd be
Like it all fits.
right.
You would think you'd at least
Yeah.
Go ask him
Something. A
some
little
questions.
deeper dive, maybe.
Yeah.
be a few questions.
In 1997 alone, this was Robert's most active year, 14 women went missing from the east side of Vancouver. And despite all of this, at the beginning of 1998, a spokesperson for the Vancouver police said, quote, "There was no indication of a serial killer preying on women." And we're talking, you're pushing over 30 women at this point. And he was not the only person that was operating in this area at this time either. This was like a safe haven for serial killers. There's evidence that Gary Ridgway traveled up there a few times and a couple of his victims came
Like,
from
hey,
there.
Gary, come on up. It's great up here.
Yeah.
I mean, is part of it because it makes the city look bad? Like, generally cities don't like to admit that there's a serial killer, huh? It hurts tourism. Like we said earlier, Vancouver has a big movie industry.
I think
Yeah.
in this case, they've revamped everything, like did like a complete overhaul of the Vancouver Police Department after this.
Yeah.
But I think under this administration and everything that was going on in there at this time, this was truly just not giving a shit about these women at all.
Damn.
Hands down, because the Vancouver police had this guy named Ken Rossmo. This guy was like super cop. He came up with a system to profile people based on geographical things for like serial killers. So this guy knew. He was like, there is a serial killer operating in this city. They wouldn't let him help at all with anything. They derailed this guy at every turn and went as far as to like bully this guy into like trying to get him to leave the police department because he was
Too good.
yeah, like they were like,
He was
"You're
trying.
right," and the other police officers didn't want. Like he would go into his office and found like that he had a like a whiteboard with stuff on that he'd been working on, and they needed one, so they just took his whiteboard and just wiped it off.
Wow.
They like purposely cut his office expenses at times just to fuck with him, so he like didn't get paper and shit. Like just
Great.
yeah, and women are missing.
What is
They didn't
has
give a
he
shit.
come out since and said stuff or
I mean, all
Does
that
he,
stuff comes
like-
from him. Yeah. I mean, he was involved in big cases and solving things. They had this guy there. They
where
just
where did he go after this?
I'm not sure off the top of my head, but they had him and they just refused to use him because they just truly didn't give a shit. It just created more work.
Seems like he could have been helpful.
You would think.
We'll be right back.
Is there something that interferes with your happiness? Something preventing you from achieving your goals? BetterHelp Online Counseling is there for you. Connect with your professional counselor in a safe and private online environment that's totally convenient. At BetterHelp, you can get help on your own time at your own pace. You can schedule secure video or phone sessions, plus chat and text with your therapist. They offer licensed professional counselors who are specialized in depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma, anger, family conflicts, LGBT matters, grief, and self-esteem. Anything you share with your BetterHelp counselor is kept completely confidential. If you're not happy with your counselor for any reason, you can request a new one at any time for no additional charge. BetterHelp offers 3,000 U.S. licensed therapists across all 50 states and also has services available worldwide. Sign up is simple, and you can start communicating in under 24 hours. Financial aid is also available for those who qualify. And remember, BetterHelp is secure, convenient, and professional. Best of all, it's a truly affordable option. Necronomipod listeners get 10% off your first month with discount code NECRO. So why not get started today? Go to betterhelp.com/necro. Simply fill out a questionnaire to help them assess your needs and get matched with a counselor you'll love. That's betterhelp.com/necro.
So that same year, in 1997, a story was published in the Vancouver Sun about Sarah DeVries, who kind of became the face of the missing women in Vancouver. After the story was published, one of the writers got a call from a man named Bill Hiscox.
So not her Cox, his Cox.
Yes, his cox.
It's clarifying.
Hiscox said that he had recently worked for a man named Dave Pickton, and during the course of his employment, he had gotten to know Dave's brother Robert. Hiscox said, quote, he's quite a strange character.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Hiscox also got a glimpse of Robert's trailer that was just full of random women's clothes and purses.
Well,
I mean, if you're storing bodies, you're going to collect a few belongings, right?
got to put them somewhere.
Yeah. Nowadays, you'd sell that on, like, fucking your Facebook group for whatever mom's group is selling that shit. I'm not going to call out our specific one. I almost did, but
Yeah.
I won't.
Not only, I mean, this guy went to the Vancouver Sun, but before that, he had gone to the Vancouver police to tell them the story. And they told him that there wasn't anything that they could really do. They put surveillance on Robert for about 2 weeks and then just decided that there was nothing going on. Now, you would think that with the attempted murder charges that were dropped down in that whole story with Sandra Ringwald and all these missing women,
It's a lead, right?
Yeah.
All these women are going missing.
you'd be like,
Dave, don't interrupt. Let Ian be very clear because he's about to pontificate to us.
I mean, you would just think that they would be like, hey, let's put 2 and 2 together
Yeah.
here and maybe look at this guy. They just really, truly did not give a shit to look into this at all.
I'm not going to sit here and let you tell me that a police investigation went awry.
It's never happened before in history, right?
It's never and it won't happen ever again.
I'm just picturing a fat old cop with his fucking feet up on the desk, eating a donut. Sorry, sir. There's nothing we can do.
And I'm not
That's
saying,
not how we see all cops, for the record.
No,
But in this investigation, it did not seem like they did a very good job.
and it's not even that they were a bad police
And I think
department when it came to the rest of society. It was
Right.
just they generally viewed these women as not they were subhuman.
Yeah.
Is that
just how it
that
is.
common among police culture? I wonder. I'm
Very
asking.
much
I'm
so.
asking for
I
maybe our
think
police
so.
listeners out there.
I think so.
Like, is that something that's common? Maybe.
I mean, back in the 80s when out in LA, when
But I'm asking even now.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's how it's looked at, or
I don't know.
if those.
Well, a missing woman in our neighborhood's absolutely going to garner a lot more activity than a missing hooker. And
Sure.
100%.
But it's also a missing person in our neighborhood garners a lot more activity than a missing person, period, in an inner city.
Well, even in the city, that would be the case.
Yeah.
And it's not bashing on cops. It's just that, when cops do the right thing, maybe they catch the guy and you're not going to hear about it. So the stuff we talk about,
I think that's 100%
obviously,
right.
you're going to get when the cops didn't do
If
the
the cops
right
caught
thing.
this guy, we wouldn't be doing the story right now.
Right.
Exactly right. So it's not,
So
Almost
thank you, Vancouver PD, for fucking up. We're going to have a story out of you.
almost all serial killer stories, almost all of them, most of they get away with stuff for the most part just because of police negligence.
yeah, sure.
It's just the truth. I'm not saying all cops are bad. I'm just saying these cops in this situation did not give a shit about these women, and it was just
And even
grossly
looking back,
blatant.
yeah, right. And probably in even some of these stories, looking back, it's not even, looking back at it, 2020 vision, you're police negligence. But at the time, they're just like, well, to be responsible police, like this is not a lead we would follow up on. You know what I mean? Like some of these situations, they're just looking at it like, okay, this isn't necessarily a tip that we're going to follow up on. We look back at it 20 years later and be like, well, yeah, that one tip would have led you to the serial killer.
Right.
But at the time, like they,
But
who knows how much shit they get on any given day.
Well, I feel like Morgan
to look into.
Freeman and Seven would have followed up on this tip.
I don't know. I've
all
not
I'm
seen
saying.
that movie.
this is
What? Wait a minute.
Are you really surprised?
Did we just find another one?
Are you really? Yeah, I'll add to that list of movies I will never watch. I'll add 7 to that list. Okay, I'm going to watch 7. I'll watch it. I'll give you a review.
You've really never seen like the other ones, okay, but you've never
Maybe.
seen 7?
I don't know.
It's a good
Probably
movie.
not. I don't think so.
Holy
I don't sit and watch
fuck,
movies.
dude.
Who's got time to sit and watch a movie?
You're quarantined, motherfucker. That's all
Yes.
you got time to do.
I like short, sporadic episodes, like Veep and Curb Your Enthusiasm
Dude.
and The Office.
7?
And then I go listen to a Nickelback record, and I come back and I watch some more TV. It's like the bottom of the night that I'm never gonna win. Okay, as you were.
So offensive.
I mean, everybody knew that there was a problem here. The police knew that there was a problem. I mean, America's Most Wanted did a fucking episode on this in 1997 because they knew there was a problem.
I mean, it's not a small number of people.
No, we're talking double digits of women that just vanished from this area. So
And yet the cops just let it go.
they just didn't care. There were other people that Robert told about what he would do, but they were too afraid to come forward. One of these people was a guy named Andy Bellwood. Now, Andy Bellwood was a petty criminal who had somehow found himself living on the Pickton property, and he and Robert became fast friends. No one really knows why Robert chose Andy to share his secrets, but one night in February of 1999, the two of them were hanging out in Robert's trailer when Robert asked Andy if he wanted to, quote, go get some hookers. Through the course of this conversation about doing this, Robert suddenly opened up and told Andy just what he liked to do with the with sex workers that he picked up. First, Robert pulled out all of his tools. There was a pair of handcuffs under his mattress, a belt, and a piece of piano wire with handles on each end of it, kind of like
A garrote, if you will.
Ooh, too soon, Dave. Too soon.
He then told Andy.
John Benet Ramsey available in the archives.
Jesus. Shameless
All-
plug alert. Shameless
All
plug
4
alert.
parts available in the archives.
He then told Andy he picked up all of his victims from the east side, promising them money and free drugs. Robert said once they were back in his trailer, he'd have sex with them from behind, then bring their arms back and slowly handcuff them, and then strangle the women to death. Another down and out person named Lynn Ellington was staying there as well during this time that this Andy guy was living there. And she was staying in a spare bedroom in Robert's house. The longer that Lynn stayed at the farm, the more she started to think that there was something really off about Robert.
Oh, that's weird.
And man, in March of 1999, her suspicions were confirmed in the worst way possible. One night, Robert and Lynn were driving around when Robert commented that he'd like to go and find a girl to take back to his trailer for the night. The two pulled up to a woman and they told her that they had just bought some crack, which they really did, and they wanted to know if she wanted to go hang out at Robert's farm.
I try this with my wife when we're out driving around. It never works. This guy makes it sound so easy. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Doing
Like, yeah,
something-
yeah, I
Dave,
wanna-
you're messing up, Dave.
Yeah, like I just want to go buy some crack and pick up a girl to take home. And she punches me in the face.
Are you playing Nickelback? You should be
Oh,
playing
is
Nickelback.
that the key? Is
I
that the
think so.
missing key?
I think so. Try it. Guarantee. You got the mic guarantee on that.
Look at this photograph. That song.
Every time I do it makes me laugh.
These lyrics are fucking terrible.
They're not.
God
They're the best of
damn.
all time.
Oh, awful.
Hey, second only to the Beatles, guys.
I
Second only to the Beatles.
don't believe that. I don't
You
believe
can
it.
look it up. You guys heard me fade out for about 30 minutes while I looked up all these
So like
numbers.
Elton John, like Nickelback sold more than Elton John.
I don't know.
Rush,
Does
Cream, the Rolling Stones. So Nickelback sold more records than the Rolling Stones. That's
in,
the most.
in America.
Stop it.
I'm not making that up.
The
I'm just
Rolling
I read
Stones.
you what I found.
Well,
They were second to the Beatles, according to the BMG Music Group.
so that means Nickelback has sold more records than the Rolling Stones in the United States of America.
That is what that means. Yes.
I don't think that's the case. I don't believe it.
Maybe not. Maybe. Or maybe Nickelback's the greatest rock and roll band of all time. and we just are not on board.
Ian and I might murder you after this show. As music fans, it might be our duty to murder you after this show.
I'm just telling you what I read online. I will post a screenshot if people want to see what I read. I'm not making it up. I just told you what I read.
I'm just telling you what we might
I don't
have to
think
do.
Nickelback's the greatest band of all time. I do enjoy a few Nickelback songs. I like the Rolling Stones better. I like the Beatles better.
Where the fuck was that?
Who knows? It's just
So they bought their crack, and this woman decided to go back.
she bought their crack and she went back.
Yeah, she decided to go back to the farm with them. When they got back to the trailer, Lynn and this woman smoked the crack while Robert watched. Eventually, Robert and the woman went to his room, and Lynn went to hers, where she went to smoke the rest of the crack. Not long after, she heard a noise coming from the barn. She walked outside, and when she opened the doors, she saw legs dangling from the ceiling. She screamed Robert's name, so he walked over and grabbed her by the arm and made her stand in front of his slaughtering table. She said she kept her eyes down, but she saw as Robert tossed intestines and other organs into a bucket. She said the table was completely covered in blood, and sitting in the middle was a clump of black hair, which that woman had black hair.
Damn.
Robert told Lynn that if she said a word to anyone about this, that she would be dead in the same way. So Robert took her back to the trailer, gave her $100 for liquor and drugs, and Lynn just stayed drunk and high for multiple days after.
Yeah, I feel like I would too.
I mean, I don't know, man. The people he surrounded himself were really down and out people. So I don't know.
I
I don't blame her.
them. No,
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I agree.
Then on May 30th of that year, ambulances were called to Robert's farm because Lynn had overdosed in his trailer, and they were called by Robert. This is where a guy named Scott Chubb comes into the story.
Chubb.
Scott had worked for the Picktons for years, and one day out of nowhere, Robert offered him $1,000 to kill Lynn Ellington. Robert told him,
it's
Just cheap.
just out of nowhere, say, "Hey man, you want to?"
You want to make $1,000? Kill this bitch. No, thank you.
He told him all Chubb had to do was inject her with window washer fluid, and no one would know the difference, and just think that she overdosed. And it's weird that Robert couldn't go through with it. He's the one that called the police or the ambulance to save her life, but I think that it all but confirms her story, because there was a reason he wanted to get rid of her.
Yeah, that's odd. So he needed a way to get rid of her, and God gave him a chub.
What if God was one of us?
Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus.
Trying to make his way home. What happened to this show? What happened to this? Like we were doing so well.
We were on time tonight and everything.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think alcohol has negative effects on people.
By the year 2000, Robert had brought another person into this mix that knew that something was off with him. And this was a woman named Dina Taylor. And she is complicit in this story as well, because Robert would send Taylor to women's shelters and search for sex workers and drug addicts. Dina Taylor would go in there and say, "Hey, let's go." This was what she would say. "Hey, let's go party with Uncle Willie. He's got drugs and booze. He's got all the money." And she would call him Uncle Willie.
Why Uncle Willie?
Well, he went by multiple. Well, everybody called him Willie. I've been calling him Robert throughout this whole story, but everybody called him Willie.
Street name.
Yeah.
Right.
Willie was was what everybody called him. Bob was his business name. Like when he went to the auctions, everybody called. He was.
What if his name was Robert William Pickton?
It was.
Oh, did we say that earlier?
I don't know.
I don't think we said that
I
earlier.
don't know.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh.
We didn't.
We did not.
No, but yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Willie.
Well, shame on me for bringing light to the situation. His middle name was William. We had not addressed that. Makes sense for people calling him Willie.
Mm-hmm. When these women were brought to him. Robert would usually accuse them of stealing something from him, like money from his wallet, something like that, and then that would be like his excuse for killing them. That was his kind of doing that Gary Ridgway thing we talked about.
Moral superiority
Yeah.
guy.
And this Dina Taylor woman probably brought him at least another dozen victims.
Jesus.
I don't know if she full on knew what he was doing. You would think she would have had to, because those women were never seen again after. But yeah, by January 2001, the number of missing women had reached 62, and the authorities could no longer just ignore that this was actually a problem.
Oh, that's the magic number.
So yeah, 62
okay.
people.
That's nice.
62 dead women is when we can say,
Oh,
like, hey,
shit.
we got a
Okay,
problem.
we better look into this now.
Yeah. That April, the Vancouver Police Department and the Royal Crown Mounted Police launched the Missing Women's Task Force. Reward posters promised $100,000 for information leading to an arrest. There were over 12,000 tips that just flooded the hotline, and several of these tips mentioned a pig farmer east of Vancouver, and Robert's name was eventually added to the list of suspects. But they didn't pursue him right away still.
Just add it to the list.
He was added to the list, but they did not pursue him. Robert continued killing through the course of 2001. In June, he murdered Andrea Joseph, and in August, Serena Abbotsway. But unlike his other victims, Robert didn't immediately dispose of their bodies. Instead, he placed their heads, hands, and feet inside plastic buckets and stored them in a meat freezer. He was starting to get careless, and he's hitting that like kind of invincibility thing where
They all get to.
yeah, I mean, he's
Seen
been
that
doing this for
before,
20
yeah.
years now, so
Robert Burdella, available in the archives. Invincibility, hanging people from his garage.
Jerry Brudos?
Jerry Brudos.
No,
Burdella's the one that tortured that guy, or tortured.
but what did
guys.
Burdella do that was, didn't Burdella do something that was sloppy?
No, not really. His guy just got
His
away.
guy got loose. His guy got
Yeah.
loose. Jerry Brudos also
Jerry
available in
Brudos
the
was a
archives. Let's
blatant-
mention multiple episodes available in the archives.
Why not?
Jerry Brudos and Robert Burdella. Burdella's guy jumped out a window, a second-story window,
Right.
after being tied to a bed for multiple days.
Yep.
Yeah. And tortured pretty brutally.
Yeah.
In November of 2001, Robert found 26-year-old Mona Wilson and promised her free drugs and alcohol. Instead of taking Mona to his trailer, he led her to a camper that he had parked behind a bar. And there's something was different about this encounter, and I don't know if it's because she fought back more or if he just wanted to up the thrill. But instead of strangling her, he shot her once in the head with a .22, and this just shot blood everywhere that we'll get into. This is more sloppiness on his part. By the end of 2001, 64 women from Vancouver's east side were on the list of missing women, but the police were no closer to actually breaking the case. Which is, I mean, everybody's calling and telling them there is this fucking weird pig farmer.
Yeah, it's him. It's this guy. We know it is.
Right. Like, he's got purses everywhere and all kinds of stuff. He's already had an attempted murder charge put on him that involved a sex worker, but they were no closer to it. Now, finally, on February 1st, 2002, a truck driver who occasionally worked at the Pickton farm told an officer that he had once seen illegal weapons at Robert's trailer. So they jumped on this and obtained a search warrant, and 4 days later, the Vancouver police closed in on the Pickton property. While searching, one of the investigators came across an inhaler that had one of the missing women's names on it. It was prescribed to Serena Abbotsway, and at that point, this joint task force decided to stop the firearms investigation and obtain new search warrants. Robert spent that night in jail, and the police alerted the media to a break in the case. With these new warrants, investigators found proof of Mona Wilson's murder. Like we said, he just shot her, and there was blood all over the mattress. There was blood on the floor, the cupboards, the walls. It just kind of like this blood just led all the way to a garbage can outside the camper where there were still some pieces of her body left. It's just very careless and
Very
sloppy.
careful. Well, he got away with it for 20 years. He's like,
Yeah.
no one's ever coming on here.
The
And that's
task,
the other thing. It's his compound. You know, like you feel a little bit safer when it's on your property. You're not ditching it in the woods or in a river.
Yeah.
Like it's just all on your property.
Just like Stephen Avery. Just saying.
it's not even a hot take to me because me and you are on the same page with them.
Some people thought this episode was going to be about Stephen Avery based on our teaser pick.
We did.
I know nothing of that story. Is that them making a murderer?
Yeah.
We'll get to him someday.
Yeah, someday.
Yeah, someday. We won't. It's already been covered.
That's true. That'd be a tough one.
I would like to debunk that. I would like to debunk those documentaries.
I think you just did. I think you just did.
Oh, that guy's guilty 100%.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
I would like to debunk that.
The kid is like the one that they charged with the crime.
Not the kid.
No,
I don't know the story.
Yeah.
Who's Stephen Avery?
The guy, his uncle.
Okay, he's guilty.
I think so.
The innocent kid that wanted to go home to watch WrestleMania is innocent.
I don't know if he's 100% innocent, but just because of what they did to him and questioning him without, attorneys or whatever, I think he should probably be let out of jail.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's still in jail to this day?
Oh, yeah. He'll never get out of jail.
Okay. You guys have educated me more than I would have thought on that.
That's what we like to do here, Mike. Maybe you
Lord
can watch
knows I'm not
fucking
gonna-
7 this week.
I'm not going to watch a true crime documentary. It's on my to-do list.
Like, do they wrestle in it? I'm not going to watch that.
No, WrestleMania is coming up, and it's going to be a 2-night extravaganza. So you know what? I'm booked.
All right.
I'm booked, baby.
Yeah, we're fucking quarantined, dude. Nothing
That's
else to do.
WrestleMania, April 4th and April 5th, live on the WWE Network for $9.99 a month, but you can sign up for a free 30-day trial.
Just doing commercials for WWE now.
Hey, I'll take a payday from them. They won't pay us.
So the task force officers grilled Robert for hours, and he was really calm, denied everything. And after 11 hours of intense questioning, investigators changed tactics, and they decided to put an undercover police officer in the cell with Robert to see if he said anything.
I wonder if that's common. You don't hear that.
You don't. This is the first time I've ever heard of that.
To actually put one in the cell with him.
How is that also legal?
Well, I mean, if you're going to talk.
Yeah, if you're talking. They're not entrapping. I don't think that's
Are
entrapment.
they not? I mean, I guess if you know you're under surveillance in your jail cell.
They're just, I picture it.
How is that not done more often, though?
I mean, it maybe is. I don't know. But Robert knew he was under surveillance, but that didn't stop him from bragging to his cellmate. And like we said earlier, there's things throughout there's stuff that I didn't include here with like his pen. Like he had a lot of pen pals and stuff over the years. Like he would talk to anybody.
Pen pals?
Yeah.
Like pig pen pals?
I was confused.
Ian was like looking at me like, what the fuck is he talking about? Well, thanks for killing that joke.
Yeah, I mean, he would just talk. He would tell people shit all the time. And at one point, Robert told this undercover cop that he was going for an even 50, so that's alluding to the fact that he thinks he puts his number at 49 women.
Which I think holds a lot of credibility, right? If he's telling this in confidence to a cellmate.
Yeah.
So he probably killed almost 50 women in his mind.
Yeah.
Likely.
He also gave details of how he would dispose of the bodies, just basically slaughtering them like they were animals, and some of them would end up in what he took to the rendering plant. He also told the undercover officer that he was starting to get sloppy, so he knew that he was fucking up. On February 2nd, the police charged Robert with the murders of Serena Abbotsway and Mona Wilson. Meanwhile, a ton of police and forensic specialists were searching the farm for remains of other victims. They made a grid of the entire property, and they were searching it grid box by grid box. The search revealed human remains and thousands of DNA samples. It's the biggest crime scene investigation in Canadian history.
I bet.
And it's huge. The investigation for evidence that was gathered at Robert's farm lasted for 22 months. And by the end of 2005, the police had cataloged enough evidence to charge him with a total of 27 murders. Robert's trial began on January 30th, 2006 in New Westminster. The pretrial took almost a year to determine what evidence could be admitted before the jury. Reporters were not allowed to disclose any of the material presented in these arguments. On March 2nd, one of the 27 counts was rejected by Justice James Williams for lack of evidence. Now this guy, that one count that was thrown out, that they said they couldn't charge him with murder, that's just because this woman was a Jane Doe. So he said that they couldn't prove anything. So what this judge is saying is that if we don't know who it is, it's cool to kill people. It doesn't matter.
Man.
Doesn't matter if they have a name or not. You know, if they don't have a name, we don't know who they are.
Right.
Whatever.
Is that a weird Canadian thing? Or?
I think that's just a weird not giving a shit about sex workers thing.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
just
universal.
systemic.
Yeah, you're right.
The other thing that this judge did that was way out of line was that he didn't allow the story of Sandra Ringwald to be heard by the jury.
Which is the one that got away.
Because he said she got away. So if she would have died, then she could testify in this guy's mind.
Jesus.
But because she got away, it didn't pertain to this story.
That's really weird.
Well, because she didn't show up for trial and
It still seems
But
extremely
wouldn't
relevant.
call her back?
automatic bad witness.
It just seems really relevant to the story.
Yeah.
And
it
if you were
does.
attorneys, I mean, I feel like you'd be working hard to get her
Yeah.
come back.
It's a whole new scenario.
Prepping her.
It's a whole new scenario at this point.
I don't even know what that word means. You just made up a word.
On August 9th, Justice Williams severed the charges, splitting them into one group of 6 counts and the other group of 20 counts. He threw another wrench in the proceedings on what evidence could be shown, because he said that the 20 other counts and all the other evidence that they had couldn't be heard by the jury. So because they were only charging him with 6, they couldn't use evidence of everything else that they found on that property. So that really limits what the jury saw regarding, they couldn't bring up all this other stuff that obviously this guy was up to.
Is this because Canadian judges drink like 6 Labatt's every morning? I don't.
I think it's more that they top their pancakes with Crown Royal.
That might be
Just
it.
drip on some Crown Royal on those pancakes. Count me in.
The remaining 20 counts could have been heard in a separate trial, but ultimately were stayed on August 4th, 2010, which we'll get into that in a little bit here. Because of the publication ban, full details of the decision aren't publicly available, but the judge has explained that trying all 26 charges at once would put an unreasonable burden on the jury, as the trial could last for up to 2 years. So it's just going to take too long to get all these families justice.
That's very strange.
We don't have time for
We're going to
that.
drop all that. We'll just focus on the top 6.
Yeah, we don't got time for it. The date for the jury trial for the first 6 counts was initially set to start on January 8th, 2007, but it was later postponed to January 22nd. On that day, Robert faced first-degree murder charges in the deaths of 6 women. The media ban was lifted, and for the first time, Canadians heard all the details what was found during that long investigation. Skulls cut in half, like the one that was found back in 1995 that they could have possibly looked into a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
With hands and feet stuffed inside. The remains of one victim stuffed in a garbage bag, and her blood-stained clothing found in Robert's trailer. That would have been Mona Wilson. Part of another victim's jawbone and teeth found beside Robert's slaughterhouse, and a .22 caliber revolver with an attached dildo containing both his DNA and the victim's DNA.
That's normal. That sounds all right.
In a videotape recording played for the jury, Pickton claimed that he attached this dildo to the weapon as a makeshift silencer.
Does that work?
I can't imagine that
I
it
don't
does.
When I stick my thing in women, they go silent. So I think it works. That's science, right?
Because like they fall asleep. I don't know what you're trying to say
I don't know.
here.
Ask them,
Because
Dave.
they're roofied and
Ask them, Dave. I don't know. I do not roofie anybody. For the record. Stop that.
I'm trying to picture a dildo in the end of a 22 and whether I'm trying to think whether it would silence the gunshot.
I don't know. Maybe he thought like going through all like the rubber, it would just silence it.
Like a silicone kind of.
Oh.
I don't know.
Shoots out the pee hole.
Does it like just flop around? It's
Just
the
doesn't sound
silicone?
Well,
Oh,
like the
accurate.
dildo probably is, you're not going to get an accurate shot off that, are you? Like it's going to.
I don't know. We got to test this, I think.
All right. Ian, go get your dildo. Let's try this.
We'll do.
Dave, get your gun. Ian, get your dildo. Let's go.
As of February 20th, 2007, the following information had been presented to the court. During Robert's trial, the lab testified that about 80 unidentified DNA samples, roughly half male, half female, had been detected on evidence.
Well, like 10 of those could have been Nickelback blowing a load at the Piggy Palace on groupies, right?
Or groupies blowing loads when they played. Just saying.
the items that they showed them a .22 revolver with the dildo for the barrel. And it had 1 round fired, so you would assume that's what killed Mona Wilson. Boxes of .357 Magnum handgun ammunition, night vision goggles, 2 pairs of faux fur-lined handcuffs, a syringe with 3 milliliters of blue liquid inside, window washer fluid, and, quote, Spanish fly aphrodisiac.
Oh, sexy.
Bow, bow, bow.
A videotape was played of Robert's friend Scott Chubb saying that he
Chubb
about the whole thing about killing Lynn Elsington with the window washer fluid. Also, Andy Bellwood, his story about what he told him, and then photos and the contents of the garbage bag found in Robert's slaughterhouse, which held some of Mona Wilson's remains. In October 2007, a juror was accused of having made up her mind already that Robert was innocent. The trial judge questioned the juror, saying, quote, "It's reported to me you said from what you had seen, you were certain Mr. Pickton was innocent. There was no way he could have done this, that the court system arrested the wrong guy." So this juror completely denied this, and Judge Williams ruled that she could remain on the jury since it couldn't be proven.
Like,
Where'd that come from then? Like that's.
somebody accused her, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that happens a lot though with juries, or is that like for high-profile cases?
Yes.
You think that happens?
Yes.
People trying to just dismantle the name of a jurist, or do you think jurists actually talk?
Oh, I mean, I think people go in there with their preconceived notions of.
That's what I mean. Like, I was just asking, like, what do you think people go in with preconceived notions
Sure.
for whatever reason?
Yeah. I think most people are stupid.
Well, I think we've covered on this show. You were against a jury trial.
I would never take a jury trial. Never.
Absolutely not.
They can be very easily swayed. I agree.
People are not, especially in this country, people are not good critical thinkers. They don't know how to put, this together and that together. They're just not.
I'm not disagreeing. I was just asking about that
This
specific incident.
country's just not full of smart people. I'm sorry, it's just not.
So you
Critical
think
thinking lags in this country. I mean, what is it, 40? I've used this before, but what, 45% of people believe in angels? You want those people on your fucking jury?
Oh,
They
you
believe
know,
in angels.
Last time you brought that up, someone got angry about that.
That's fine,
They
but
said,
that's not real.
FYI, angels are real.
FYI, no, they're not, imbecile.
well,
it's not a real
FYI,
thing.
Nickelback's the second greatest selling foreign rock band in United States history. So, whatever.
Okay.
Look at this photograph.
If you want people to believe in angels deciding your fate, that's fine. Not mine. That's ridiculous.
I'd rather live in a country where Nickelback's a better selling rock band.
I don't want that either.
Well, but Dave, you can't be beggars can't be choosers here. You pick one. You pick Angels or Nickelback right now. You pick Angels or Nickelback.
Oh, I picked Nickelback over Angels.
Hey,
That's ridiculous.
Because we all just want to be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses driving 15 cars. The drugs come easy and the girls come cheap. We'll all stay skinny because we just won't eat.
That sounds like they were writing that about their time at the Piggy Palace or something.
so.
What kind of lyrics
Hey,
are those?
You know what?
Just blow some loads on some groupies now.
If
And
that's
then
the
we'll
lyrics,
eat a
sign me
bacon
up.
sandwich and we'll do something somehow.
Well done. That's exactly how they sing it, Dave. If that's how Nickelback parted at the Piggy Palace, then sign me up for VIP. Because I want to be there. I'm going to drink vodka, I'm going to eat some bacon, and I'm going to listen to some Nickelback.
On December 9th, 2007, the jury returned a verdict that Pickton is not guilty on 6 counts of first-degree murder, but they found him guilty on 6 counts of second-degree murder. A second-degree murder conviction carries a punishment of a life sentence with no possibility of parole of a period between 10 and 25 years to be set by the trial judge.
Like, I can see how the first one might not be first degree, but I don't know how you can say the 5 subsequent murders weren't in any way premeditated that would make them first degree, right?
I don't know.
It's
man.
extremely
I don't get
odd.
that. That's
I'd
odd.
like to be in that
Yeah.
jurist room having that debate.
Well, my angel told me that he didn't mean to do it.
Well, we don't know that's what was said. We don't know, Dave. I'm also wondering if there was a lackluster of evidence, though, presented.
Well, they
We
couldn't
did
talk.
touch-
They
we
couldn't
did-
talk about everything that they found there.
And we touched on
Right.
earlier how the police were slow to pick up on a lot of stuff. I'm wondering what evidence was actually supplied to the jurors.
Nothing from the other 20 cases. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Dave, you're one to always, people should not be charged unless you feel strongly and, you want to give everyone their
agree.
fair rights. I'm wondering what was presented to these people that would give them a doubt as to this guy is not guilty.
sure.
Clearly, looking back, hindsight 2020, we know what the situation is, probably, but
Well, I don't understand this splitting off of the 6 cases versus the other 20. It just
but as a
seems kinda-
jurist, that's not your job to understand.
You're right.
You're looking at what's presented.
Yeah. There's a reason why the government did a complete overhaul of the police system. This whole system got an overhaul after this shit. So
There you go.
there's a reason.
Yeah. So again, I don't blame necessarily the jurists then. Maybe they were presented fucked up evidence.
Sure. Possible.
On December 11th, 2007, after reading 18 victim impact statements, British Columbia's Supreme Court Judge Justice James Williams sentenced Robert to life with no possibility of parole for 25 years, which is the maximum punishment for a second-degree murder charge or conviction in Canada.
So you were a bad boy, eh? You got to go away for 25 years.
What beer do they drink in Canada at prisons? They gotta drink some kind of beer, right?
In prison?
Yeah, of
You get
course.
to drink. Well,
course.
it is Canada.
Of course.
I don't know.
Blatz?
Blatz?
Oh, is that American?
Labatt's?
No, well, Labatt's is okay though. I would take that. I was just thinking of like a shitty beer
don't
that
know.
we get shit from Canada. I guess Blatz is maybe American.
I think it probably is. It's disgusting.
I'd still drink it if I was in prison. All right, never mind. Stupid question.
Regarding the conviction, judge said, quote, Mr. Pickton's conduct was murderous and repeatedly so. I cannot know the details, but I know this. What happened to them was senseless and despicable. Robert fought his sentence through appeals, and his last appeal was denied in 2009. There's multiple things he was trying to fight here. And then like we said earlier, in 2010, the courts decided to not try Robert for the remaining 20 murder charges. They just said those 6 were enough. That's that.
I mean, there's no death penalty in Canada, so
I understand where the victims' families are coming from, because that's the thing is like, even though those were down and out people, and I mean, they're not just,
doesn't
they're
matter.
not
doesn't have anything to do
throwaways.
with it. Yeah,
All right.
I mean, they still do have families. And
absolutely.
so, yeah.
I mean, Mike doesn't want him killed. Maybe he can, when he gets paroled in 25 years, he can come live at Mike's house.
I don't know. What's his thoughts on Nickelback? I don't want him killed, but I also, I want justice for these people, these girls, these streetwalkers that he allegedly killed. I don't know.
he
I
did
think it's
kill-
fucked up.
Yeah,
Or allegedly he killed. I mean, let's go to trial for that as well.
He probably won't get out though.
no, he'll never be paroled.
I don't think so. I mean,
Well, I don't know. I can't speak for the Canadian justice system. I
What-
can't speak for the American justice system. But
what do they mark Catherine Knight's file with? Never to be released.
Yeah.
I think they should put that on that guy's too.
See,
never to be released.
I'm 100% okay with that.
Yep.
You're not going to get me to fight on that. Like, this guy should be locked up forever. Catherine Knight should be locked up forever.
Who owns the Piggy Palace now?
Oh, good question, Dave.
No one. The Piggy Palace is done.
No.
What is it now?
I don't know.
Bulldozed
They
over
raised it,
farmland.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nickelback probably owns it.
Well, they own Canada.
bought
I think.
it.
I think they own Canada.
Avril Lavigne's managing it.
Well,
Just
are they
manager.
still married?
I don't know.
Yeah, so that's Robert Pickton.
That's I
That's a
wasn't
show.
all that familiar with this story, and a lot of people requested it.
Yeah.
This was one of our
Fairly
most
recent.
requested shows, I think,
Yeah.
since we started.
It's interesting.
It's not great.
It's not the most fun story of all time, but
Yeah, I was
This guy's
getting a little fired up reading about all the
yeah, what'd you call him? A pig shit smelling asshole or whatever it was. I said in my opening.
Well, it's likely the pigs he fed a lot of that stuff. The pigs
Pig
too,
shit
right?
covered asshole.
yeah, he fed the women to the pigs.
Which was believed. We don't know for sure, right?
Yeah, well, when he was bullshitting about like how he got rid of bodies, he would take some of it to the rendering plant. The rest he would let the pigs eat. It's weird. They never found any arm bones or leg bones on the property, and that wouldn't get through a rendering plant. I mean, they would probably be like, "Hey, that's a human arm bone or something." But so that's odd. That's a complete mystery on what he did with the arms and legs, which is really weird.
Horrific. Fuck Canada.
Goddamn, pal.
Fucking Pickton and Nickelback. You can keep it, man.
One of those is the best selling of all time, and one of those is the most killing of all time.
This guy's
so.
still with this.
Record breakers.
He's their most prolific serial killer.
And their most prolific rock band.
And there you go.
All right. I don't love it.
No.
All right, Ian, you got anything to wrap us up on Robert Pickton here? Any last thoughts?
No. I
Covered it all?
think so.
Have we hated on Canada enough?
Yeah.
For one episode, at least.
Yeah. It's not all cops, but we wouldn't have a
He's a
show.
little-
we
he's a
wouldn't have
little
a show.
angry
We
about
wouldn't
cops.
have a show if there weren't system failures.
Well, yeah, police incompetence facilitate a lot of these guys, of course.
And unfortunately, other than John Bonet, this is probably one of the biggest incompetence. Not even it's just
That's a statement,
just
pal.
not even caring. But yeah,
Well, the Canadian U.S. border is currently closed, so maybe we won't have any of these people coming over. Just saying.
Well said. USA. USA. Dave, what do you got? You got to close us out on anything? You got
That's
any
all I
final
got.
thoughts?
Closed border.
All right. So we got some shout outs for new patrons, and goddamn, we got a lot of them this week. Must have been a while since we last recorded.
A week?
It's been more than a week, I believe.
Has it?
I think so. We didn't record last Friday. Shout outs to Martin McConnell, Deanne O'Brien Haggerty, Sarah McDonald, Kevin J., Jess Janelin, Lindsay Patterson, Julia Weber, Marcus Sickles, Courtney Kritzberg, Not Selena Gomez, Aaron Flynn, Nicole Olson, Peter Holder, Dorian French, Jasmine, Amber Faith, Angela Coran, Gage Bass, and Logan Mayfield. Also, Kayla Marseille. Thank you guys very much for signing up for Patreon. We appreciate it very much. If you're interested in signing up, patreon.com/necronomipod. Ian, what do you got?
for iTunes, I have one for Marloson 42, Fig 3000, Lacey Shepard, Beck Pont, Jenny Maskey, and Rachel Brewer 88. Thank you guys for the reviews. And Beck Pont, their review said that Mike sounds like Woody from Toy Story, also his nickname in college.
Does that make me Tom Hanks?
Apparently.
It does. Yeah.
Fucking hell yeah, thank you.
He's all jacked up.
Also-
now. He's got a Woody.
Also appropriate nickname, because yes, that was my nickname in college.
Yeah.
They said, oh, there's Mike. Oh, you mean Woody? Yeah. But also Buzz Lightyear, because he'll take you to infinity and beyond.
Is that
What's
what you
up,
told
girl?
him?
What's up, girl? Hey, girl, hey. Hey, girl, hey.
So, yeah, thanks for the review.
Must have been a
They'd be
roofie involved there.
They'd be oozing.
Jesus.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey,
Hey.
girl. You want to go into infinity and beyond? Hey, girl, hey. It worked 12% of the time, all the time. Dave, what you got for us?
Jesus. From Instagram, Marty and McConnell, 94 Angela 13, Torn Up Clouds, Rinny 8, Sunny Sandy Mond. From Twitter, Rook Auto Turret, Amy Greaves 96, and Perfect Blue 89. Really appreciate your Necronomipod drawing with the beer mug. That was pretty fucking cool.
We posted that the other day on the Instagram story and Twitter. And did you guys post it on Facebook, or did that fall to the wayside? Yeah. No. So if you're on
We
Facebook,
may not have done that.
you should probably check out our Twitter or Instagram. What is
Really
it?
cool.
Perfect Blue 89.
Yeah, really cool. Thank you.
They drew up something pretty sweet for us. Yeah. So we use that as a photo. Anyways, we are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Necronomipod. If you're interested in signing up, well, you are. Well, no, if you're interested in signing up, I'm just getting myself confused here. If you're interested in signing up for bonus episodes, patreon.com/Necronomipod. And See you next week.
Stay safe out there, guys. Dangerous time.
All right, you guys ready for a cool down beer?
Yep.
Cheers.